right, so here's my Sunday breakdowns, just starting with the ones that we're not interested in. So USDXAU, basically we are at a lower low with an indecision candle. This wouldn't be bad for counter trends if the daily shift structure. So we would need the daily to, so this could be, if the daily shifts, then we can go counter trend. Okay, so CHF, JPY, pulled back. Daily is already bearish, but it's just so messy, so I'm not even gonna bother with it. GBP NZD at a higher high, not having a pullback deep enough yet or anything to an area of interest. So for that reason, we're just not interested in it. And if the daily does shift, we could do possible counter trend, but I'm just not interested in it because it's not an indecision candle. Well, no, it's not an indecision candle. It's not a rejection candle either. Okay, the USD JPY weekly, we are at a lower low. Indecision candle can't counter trend because counter trend would be right here. NZD USD, this just didn't pull back properly to an area of interest. CAD JPY, indecision candle here. Targets would be too close. Targets would be right here for a counter trend. US oil, basically at the target, indecision candle. Price could, if the daily shifts, I don't even know. Maybe it's a counter trend, so there might be some sort of 4 hour or something. So we'll just wait for this if the daily shifts. Add JPY, add a lower low with an indecision candle. Counter trend can't happen because it's right there. NZD JPY has a rejection. Counter trend would be right here. And have an area of interest. It pulled back to an area of interest right here. Weekly target, daily has a proper pullback. 4 hour just needs to shift. Okay, weekly at a lower. It's already pulling back and it's not really at, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I would say that's at an area of interest. Just right there. Yeah, okay. So it's at an area of interest. We can target here. The daily is currently bearish. The target's just so close, like, but who knows? It might look different. Daily is bearish. Daily's had a proper pullback. 4 hour just needs to shift bearish. So maybe we'll have break and then go down. UK oil, no counter trends possible, and we're indecision. AUD USD didn't have a proper pullback. It's kind of like in the middle of the move now. It's just messy. USD this is just, yeah, same thing in the middle of the move. This is bullish for pullback to, there's just not a nice area of interest. I don't know. That's so weird how it's like kind of like under the area of interest. It's bullish. I think just the daily is just the daily would need to shift if anything. And then yeah, shift and then retest out of this consolidation and then we can go. HUF, we are indecision candle at a lower low, not interested. Weekly, we've had a pullback. It's kind of like broken above. So for that reason, I'm not interested. The daily would need to shift. If the daily shifts, we'll just say that. If the daily shifts, then we'll do that. And basically at a lower low, we did break. We have an indecision candle. We're just waiting for the daily to shift and then we can do a counter trend trade. USD PLN, same thing at a lower low with an indecision candle, just waiting for the daily to shift, and then we could do a counter trend trade. USD DKK, same thing, indecision candle at the lower low, just waiting for, see, I'm not really considering that as the structure point, right? I'm considering this. So let me know if that's correct. And then, yeah, same thing, just need the daily to shift before we can do anything. USD CAD weekly is bearish. And we didn't really pull back to like an area or anything. We're not really doing like a wick pullback. So USD CAD, since it didn't come back to the weekly area of interest, we're not interested in. USD HUF, lower low, indecision, waiting for the daily to shift to do a counter trend trade. GA, higher high, indecision, waiting for the daily to shift to do a counter trend trade. So daily needs to shift under here. USD SGD, yeah, okay, lower low. This is looks like we've had a pullback to an area of interest because the price pullback we have zone. So I'm counting that. The daily needs to shift. So the daily right now is bullish, so we're just waiting for the daily to shift. GA, higher high, indecision, structure point, daily just needs to shift bearish. Euro NZD, higher high, indecision, structure points right there, daily just needs to shift. Euro GBP, proper, it's pulled back to a weekly area of interest. The daily needs to shift bearish, and then we can look further. USD-ZAR weekly, we have had a proper pullback. It's right here, area of interest. Daily needs to have a shift of structure. AUD CAD weekly is bearish at an area of interest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Daily needs to shift. Euro USD weekly is at a higher high, indecision candle. Like again, that I didn't really count it because I'm counting like the structure points. So let me know if that's correct. And yeah, we're just waiting for the daily to go bearish in order to do that. All right. NZD JPY weekly bearish, proper pullback to a weekly area of interest. Daily is bullish, so we just need the daily to shift actually. We're just waiting for the daily to shift. So USD NOK, lower low, daily, lower low as well. We're just gonna wait for it to have a pullback to like wherever it does. I don't know, maybe it'll pull back here and we'll have some sort of area of interest when it does. Something like that. Who knows? Who sees? So yeah, just waiting for that daily proper pullback. USD MXN. We broke out. We're at a lower low. The daily is also bearish, so we're just waiting for a proper daily pullback before we could do anything. Gold weekly's at a higher high, daily's also at a higher high, just waiting for a proper daily pullback before we can do anything. I don't know where to, maybe somewhere like here, because I don't see any other areas. But again, that's only one touch, two touch. Gold is an interesting one, so I'm not gonna be interested in that. Silver, we are at a higher high. Daily's also at a higher high. We're just waiting for the daily to have a proper daily pullback. GU at a higher high. Indecision candle, structure points right there. Just waiting for the daily to shift under this point right here, and then we can take it down. USD CZK, lower low, indecision, structure points right there. Just waiting for the daily to make a lower low. Basically waiting for the daily to shift. Weekly at a lower low with an indecision, or no, so it's at a lower low. It's had a proper pullback. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it's pulled back to the zone. Daily is also bearish. So the only thing is like the take profit's really close there. So, and the daily, yeah, it's just not going to be enough range, right? So that's what I'm thinking. I'm just thinking it's not going to be enough range for this trade unless the daily like pulls back deeper and doesn't break or whatever. I'm just going to leave this as, I mean, there is 70 pips in there. Something could happen. So GJ weekly has a pullback. It's broke a little bit over the zone, so that's kind of like concerning for me. But then the daily is also bearish, so, and it's had a pullback, and the 4-hour just needs to have a shift of structure. So we're just waiting for that. So this needs to have a 4-hour shift of structure. This also needs to have a 4-hour shift of structure. But depending on which one has a nice target with the stop loss, then I'll take it. But yeah, that's what we're looking at.